to my friends at Dyersburg Primary School. My name is Vanessa Kane. I'm the Children's Director here at MacIvers Grant Public Library, and today I'm so excited to bring you a book that goes along with your theme, Imagine It, Make It, Using My Imagination. This book is called Imagine. It's by Raul Colon, and it is a wordless book, which means the whole story is told in pictures. And so it's going to be kind of a different book for us, isn't it? Because usually I read you a story. But today we're just going to take a picture walk through this book and explore the story together. Okay? And then we're going to talk a little bit about art. Imagine is what it's called. Isn't that a beautiful picture? Didn't he do a good job? I see a little bit of a glare. I hope it's not too much of a glare for y'all. This book was published by Simon and Schuster Books for Young Readers. And here is a picture. And what is that in that picture? Do you have some of those? Do you use those sometimes? Do you use them at home? In your classroom? Are you an artist? Imagine. Let's see who this story might be about. What do you see in the picture? I see a little boy. He's looking out a window. Does he look like he's looking out at the window of a house? Like a regular house in the suburbs? Or maybe, does that look like an apartment? Or something in the city? Or maybe a school? What do you think? Where do you think he is? Can you make some guesses before we even turn the page? You are the author of this story, aren't you? There's our little boy. What does he like to do? What is he doing? Looks like he lives in the city, or at least in a town with a sidewalk, and he has a skateboard. Let's see where he goes on his skateboard. Oh, goodness. Looks like the city to me. He's riding his skateboard. Oh, and look, he's going to that bridge. And he's stopping and looking at the bridge before he goes over. He's in New York City. New York City. Do you see all those buildings on the other side? That's where he's going, across that bridge towards New York City. Can you imagine riding a skateboard in New York City? That's so far away from us. It's kind of a hard thing to imagine, isn't it? Oh, and there he goes. Still riding his skateboard. And what does he see right here? This says the Museum of Modern Art. Have you ever been to a museum? Have you seen a lot of paintings? He's going in. He's going in and he's checking his skateboard. He's giving his skateboard and his helmet to a man who's going to hold it for him so that he can walk through the museum and not have to hold all that stuff. And also probably so he won't skateboard inside. I don't think I would skateboard inside the museum, would you? No, you wouldn't. All right, let's look and see what happens. I skipped a page. There he is, looking at those beautiful paintings and the modern art that's in the museum. And you see all the different things, 2 different levels, and just rooms and rooms and rooms of paintings. Oh, and let's see what he looks at. What is that in that first painting? What is this right here? And what is this in this painting? And what is that in this painting? And oh my goodness, what is happening? It looks like what's in this painting isn't staying in there. Do you think he's using his imagination? I think he's using his imagination. And he's dancing with the person that was in that painting that popped out. And now they're dancing in front of another painting. And what's happening? Oh. Do you think he's using his imagination? Have you ever used your imagination like that? Oh, they're dancing in front of another painting. What a wonderful way. Oh, look where his foot is. Look where his foot is. He stepped stepping inside that painting, isn't he? He is. He's inside. Wow. Do you think if you went to a museum in New York City that you could step inside the paintings? Do you think the paintings would step outside and dance with you? I like this book and his imagination. And oh my goodness, this time when he came out of that painting, they came out with him. And it looks like he is having a really good time with all of those subjects of all of those paintings. But look, he's going in front of this one. What do you think might happen in that? Oh my goodness. Do you like wordless storybooks? Can you imagine telling a story only with pictures? Maybe you might want to do that today when you go to the art center. Oh no, look what happened. Wow. Wow. And there they all are leaving the Museum of Modern Art. They're all together on the sidewalk in New York City. Let's see what kind of adventure they might have in their imagination. They're crossing the crosswalk. Wow, let's look closer. I see somebody playing instruments. I see a Harlequin clown. I see a lion. I see this modern person dancing. I see this person who looks like they have an instrument, but they look very old-fashioned. There's our friend. There's some animals. There's a dog. And they are on the train. Wow. Would you want to get on a train in New York City? And they're on a roller coaster. Look at them on the roller coaster. What a fun day they're having together. And where are they now? Can you tell me what that is? What statue that is? That's the Statue of Liberty. They're at the top of the Statue of Liberty. And they're getting a hot dog on the street. And they're playing music in the park. They are having quite an adventure all together. I bet those paintings are glad to get out of the museum. I bet they're kind of tired of just hanging on the wall. Now they're in a taxi cab. And now they're back at the museum. You think they're going home? They might have missed their home. Would you miss your home if you were out running around New York City? Let's see what happens now. Oh, now he's saying goodbye to his friends. See, he's saying goodbye to that painting, and he's getting his skateboard and his helmet, and he's going back towards the bridge. He's leaving the museum and going back towards the bridge. And he's going over the bridge away from the city and back to his house. But oh, on the way, look what he sees. He's gonna make a mural. He made a mural of all of his friends from the museum, didn't he? Let's see what happens. Look at that. Make sure that you can see. There we are. That's a beautiful mural, isn't it? Didn't he do a good job? Let's show you the middle of that. 2 pages so you can see it. Now he's riding home to his house. There he is. Oh, he's so tired. What a big day. He went to the museum and he met all the paintings and they went all over town, and then he made his own mural, and now he's falling asleep. But can you see who's visiting him? Who's visiting him outside his window? Maybe they're in his dreams too. What do you think? Is he using his imagination while he's sleeping too? He has a good imagination, doesn't he? Do you have a good imagination? that is the end of that book. And this is a letter from the person who wrote the book, who drew those wonderful pictures, Mr. Colon. And he talks about growing up in New York City and how he didn't get to go to museums because he was just living there and they were all so busy. Have you ever been someplace by something close to you that you haven't been able to see? Like, people think that everybody in Tennessee has been to Graceland, or everybody in Tennessee has been to the Grand Ole Opry, or everybody in Tennessee has been to the Smoky Mountains or the Mississippi River. But sometimes it's hard to get there. We're just living and going home and getting back up and going to school and work and being busy, aren't we? Same with everybody else. So if you don't go to New York for a trip, sometimes you might not get to see those museums. And that's what the author of this book didn't get to when he was little. But he liked to draw. And when he did get to go to the museums, he had a wonderful idea for a story, didn't he? So what I think you should do today, my challenge to you today is, number one, to be really good for your teachers, because I know you always are, but I'd like to remind you, teachers like you and love you and they work hard for you, and I want you to give them a big high five today, okay? The second thing I want you to do is, next time you go to the art center and you have time just to draw, I want you to think about what you might do if a picture from your classroom and you got down off the wall and went and did something in Dyersburg. Could you draw a picture of that? Would you draw a picture of that for me? That would be so much fun. You could write your own story with just pictures. You could be an illustrator. Wouldn't that be wonderful? All right, I want you to be really good today, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.